This is going to be set to be one of the main competitors in the electric vehicle market. I am very certain of that. Hey guys, welcome to DreamCoin, where we show you how to invest for a better tomorrow. My name's Tyler, and I just wanted to do some updates on Fisker because Henrik Fisker has been coming out with a lot of different new details towards where they want to bring their ocean model, and then where Fisker wants to take their company going into the year 2027, which obviously is a faraway time from now, but it's nice to see that they have projections of where they want to be and how they want to front run the electric vehicle industry. To start everything off, Henrik Fisker came out literally just yesterday, June 8th at 7 in the morning with a couple new pictures of the Fisker Ocean with some new updated parts of the model. And one of the most significant features of this is that they have their lettering on their car, and some of the trim on the front is going to have some very sleek lighting. This looks very clean for a car that a lot of people were kind of looking at as almost a non-luxurious electric vehicle model. And obviously it doesn't look like a lot of the Tesla models or even the Lucid Motors Air, but this does look very clean for where they're going. And I specifically think this light up system could be pretty sleek in the nighttime for a little more cleaner looking car. They've also been coming out with branding for their Pear model recently, and this is one of the concept models that they've been leaking photos of. The way they've been crafting the setup for this makes it seem like it's going to be very unique compared to a lot of vehicles currently on the market, especially with the way that they keep describing it as unlike anything that's been put out. Some of the models look very obscure compared to a lot of body models that are out on the market, even for just normal cars, let alone electric vehicles. And where they're going with this is a very nice drip feed of information where they're keeping people interested. I think that's been a large pull of why the stock has been moving up consistently since its lows of the $9 area over the last couple months. They have come out with more information pertaining to a 4D digital radar system that they claim is military grade, so that when you're in your vehicle, you can see your surroundings around you, see where cars are, know how close you are to cars when you're on the road. And this could be great for a lot of different aspects of driving while in their vehicles, but it just adds another facet to some of their technology that they're looking to implement into their vehicles. I saw this chart earlier on social media floating around, and this basically gives a comparison of some of the bigger brand names in both the SPAC and electric vehicle space and their trends over time since the big EV and SPAC sell-off that started around March. And as you can see, they have Fisker highlighted with an orange line, and for a general majority of the time, they've outperformed almost every other stock in the area, even before the sell-off. And so you can see here, they had a huge bounce while everybody else was dipping. Then they started pulling down with the general market trend, and they're already starting to rise a little bit faster than everything else, which could put them in a good spot going into the end of the year, which is where I have them as a price target of over $40 still. For some of the final news coming out on them, they are looking to, by 2027, have a climate neutral vehicle coming out in their product line, which would essentially mean from step A of manufacturing and implementing everything all the way to the end of the life cycle of the vehicle, they're looking to eliminate the most amount of impact on the environment as they possibly can. And this is going to be done in a lot of different ways, but they're trying to do it even just down to who their suppliers are and how they're disposing of things like old batteries and everything like that for their models. Looking at the flow chart of where they're looking to go from sourcing all the way to the recycling and reuse of their materials, they are striving to get to a point where they localize pretty much all of their suppliers, use recycled materials. And we've gone over this before in previous videos that I've done on Fisker, where they're looking to reuse plastic that's floated around in the ocean and recycle that into their interiors of their cars. So they're already on that process as we go forward, and it's more just refining that down to even more of an efficient process as they can. They want to get their manufacturing to a point where they have virtually 100% renewable energy running the manufacturing sites, and they're going to be using the most that they can of rail and electric powered transport systems so that you're not using as much carbon emissions from commercial vehicles transporting all all of their materials. Their public charging networks are going to be set towards trying to use 100% renewable energy, and they're going to encourage those that don't already have 100% renewable energy available to look into a agreement that would basically allow them to get into setting that up for their systems. And then they're going to go all the way through the recycling phase to where they're going to localize a lot of their recycling partners even and look towards getting 100% renewable energy through those processes while also minimizing combustion, because, you know, as of right now, electric batteries for electric vehicles are not the safest with the technology they're doing, and they can actually be very damaging on the environment. So they are already looking at a very diversified process for setting these systems up for themselves and for the rest of the electric vehicle industry. As we've already touched on many times before when I've talked about Fisker, they are setting themselves up to be one of the most sustainable vehicle companies in the world with what they're trying to do right now. And this is going to look very nice for them if they can get into a leading spot in the electric vehicle industry, because not only are we looking towards a future where we want things to move away from fossil fuels and stuff like that, we also are looking to maximize our resources so that we're not damaging the environment as much. And this plays into their leasing program for their vehicles as well, because a vast majority of vehicles are expected to just be leased while they're still technically owned by Fisker. And since Fisker will have possession of those vehicles through that entire life cycle, and it's also going to help with their approach towards reusing a lot of the materials in their previously made vehicles, while also allowing for a safe way to dispose of materials in their vehicles that otherwise can't be reused. As we look over their chart, their peak was the very beginning of March, and I had actually predicted this in a previous video. I said I felt they were going to get close to a $30 area for where they're going to be running, and they actually ended up doing that. And this is the point where they were basically going against the grain of the rest of the electric vehicle and SPAC market and going for more positive trends while everything else was kind of dipping down. And then that really bad mid-March area that ruined a lot of stocks and pulled everything down as the market kind of corrected itself, and a lot of the Fed talks kind of scared people on inflation and where the country was going to be handling reopening and everything. They started taking a slow decline down over time to where they started matching the trend of their competitors and got pulled down by just non-existent strength of their sector of the market. And they ended up hitting a low of around $9 at one point. And since mid-May, for that bottom, they started a significant climb up, and they're already outperforming the rest of their market as we looked at on the other chart. They did actually hit over $19 within the last couple days. So over the next few months and towards the end of the year, I'm going to be looking for them to trend back up. I still have a price target of towards $30 to $40 for them by the end of the year, and I think this is going to be set for them to possibly hit that. And as they get Ocean out and everything, I do think they're a triple digit stock. I still am hammering on the fact that they are worth over $400 in the long run. As of right now, I have a lot of confidence in the company and where Henrik Fisker is with his vision for the company, especially coming off of, you know, everybody being concerned with his previous efforts in the company, where he most likely learned a lot from that is being more careful of who their suppliers are for different batteries and their sourcing and all that. This is going to be set to be one of the main competitors in the electric vehicle market. I'm very certain of that. I think within the next week or so, we're going to easily see them over $20 to $25 as they start getting more strength going forward. Be sure to check out my other videos on Fisker, which I'll have linked in a playlist with this video as well, referenced as electric vehicle stocks, that you can check out for my breakdown on a lot of the EV industry and my favorite stocks right now performing in those. And then other than that, that's going to do it for me in this video today, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.